Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. Good morning to my subscribers in the Philippines. Good evening to my subscribers in America and beyond. I always like to give a special welcome to my new subscribers and new viewers. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. You know, your kindness, your generosity and support of my channel, I really appreciate it. I never take that for granted. I'm gonna continue to do these vlogs as long as they're useful, as long as they're helpful. This channel is geared toward the new man and woman, and I think people miss that. That's why I'll never take my introduction out. Okay, it's very important that people understand and get some type of context of why you see some man sitting here day after day talking to the screen. I'm not a know-it-all. If I ever come off like that, I apologize. I'm trying to be helpful. But my 11 years of being affiliated with the Philippines does give me a unique perspective. I just want to share that with the new man and woman, or anybody really, if it's going to help make your trip here more enjoyable and above all things safer. I'm boots on the ground. I'm in the center of all this. It's for your benefit. I live among the locals. I'm always going to give you the nitty gritty. This is exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. Never going to sugarcoat that. It's not going to start today. You know, I want to talk about one of my subscribers, a new guy, a very new guy. And a lot of the things, a lot of comments and questions I get, they're very generic. And they come from new people. And some of us don't have the patience for it. But he wanted to know if he moved to the Philippines, would he still be eligible for his Social Security benefits? Would he lose those Social Security benefits? But before I get into that, I want to say this. You know, my vlogs, sometimes they're inspirational, motivational. Most of the time, you know, a lot of times entertaining, but most of all, they're informative. But they're never bashing. They're never negative, okay? I want to give you some weapons. So when you come over here to the Philippines, you're armed with some facts about living over here, okay? That's my aim. That's it. Okay, I'm not an expert or anything like that. And another thing, I've decided that I'm going to take that COVID vaccine whenever it's offered to me over here. Probably as a foreigner, I'm probably going to be at the end of the line, but that's okay. That's how it should be. But I was on the fence about that until recently, you know, and I'll talk about that a little bit, but I'm not one of those guys with this conspiracy about COVID and the government and all of that. It's a growing course of that, everybody. And I'm going to tell you why, because one of my family members died of COVID-19. Yes, she actually died of COVID-19. A happy, healthy grandmother, great-grandmother, 70 years old, attended a family gathering, you know, got complacent. About 3 or 4 days later, came down with the symptoms. Within 2 weeks, she was gone. Within a week, she was on the ventilator. And then, you know, her daughters and everybody was making, you know, arrangements to have her pulled off the ventilator. So if you talk to me, COVID-19 is real. This isn't some government conspiracy, okay? But I decided to take it because I want my life back. See, I want my freedom that the Philippines offers me. I want that back that the pandemic is taking, but at the same time, I want to protect myself and others. This pandemic fatigue is real, and I'm starting to see it rear its ugly head over here, man. I mean, I've seen it at home in the United States, but it's really starting to rear its head over here. It's very scary because I follow all the protocol. The shield, the mask, I wash my hands, you know, social distancing, the whole 9 yards. But it just doesn't seem to be enough. Just 2 days ago, a guy walked past my house, no mask, no shield, no nothing. I'm seeing more and more people out in the streets around here now. You know, a lot of them have on their mask and their shield, but just the fact that there's just so many people out there. And then See, to get into a store over here, a mall, the market, or anywhere, a lot of times you gotta have a pass, but you definitely gotta have that shield and that mask. But just to get in. But when people come to your house, they don't want to wear that mask and they don't want to wear that shield. And see, I don't know these people. These are strangers to me. See, one of the, drawbacks of this, one of the prices we have to pay to go through this pandemic is sometimes we have to be separated from our family and friends. We cannot look at somebody and say if they have COVID or not. No one over here is taking a test. They can't afford it. But what people are doing is taking too many chances. And so I've decided, look, I'm going to take it. People come, just coming in and out of my house, breaking every Jordan rule I done set. But, what can I do? I'm 8,000 miles from home. So I'm going to take the test. I'm going to take the vaccination. At first I was on the fence. I was like, well, I'm going to be in the back anyway. Maybe by the time they get to me, the herd immunity's already been reached and I won't have to take it. Well, I don't care if the herd immunity is reached or not. I'm going to take it to protect you and me. Okay, because people are getting complacent and they're letting their guards down. And we're right at the threshold, man, of beating this thing. But I understand that. So that's enough of that rant. But to answer the guy's question, I had emailed him back, and the bottom line is when I moved over here, okay, I didn't give up my U.S. citizenship. I didn't become a Philippine citizen or Filipino national, okay? I'm just an expat. I'm just a U.S. citizen living outside the country, okay? And then, you got retirees, you got employees from the U.S. who work here who are considered expats. But all my rights, protections, and privileges under the U.S. government, I still enjoy. I still have to file my taxes every year, okay? I don't receive a Social Security, but if I did, if you do, and you're worried about losing that, no, it's still gonna go in your bank. You're still gonna have access to it. You're gonna be living here, so you're gonna have to make arrangements to remit that money to you somehow, some way. Either open up a bank account here, or send it to yourself, Western Union, or one of the other wire services. But you absolutely do not lose your Social Security. Now, disability may be different. You're not going to lose it, but my brother, when he was on disability, he's 65 now, he's transitioned to just regular Social Security. Every year or two, I can't remember, and you may have to talk to your lawyer who helped you get your disability. You have to get a checkup from the doctor to make sure that you still meet the requirements of your, disability to still receive that benefit. So if you come over here, then maybe you're going back and forth, whatever. Your disability may be so great that you don't need to do that. But in some cases, you have to get that letter from the doctor and give it to the Social Security to make sure your disability is still valid. But I'm here on a tourist visa because I'm going to talk about, just in a brief way, because I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an expert, but I'm just going to talk to you about what I know. I'm going to give you some boots on the ground information. I'm here on a tourist visa, which is a popular visa that a lot of expats are under. As a U.S. citizen, I'm able to stay in the Philippines up to 36 months without ever leaving. Of course, I have to extend every month, every 2 months, every 6 months, whichever I decide. I have to pay that fee. Now, at the end of the 3 years, I have to leave the country for 24 hours. You have to make sure it's 24 hours, so I always stay 2 days. Then I come back and start the process all over again. That's a tourist visa. They also have a 13A visa. It's a residence visa, and a friend of mine has this. He lives in Cebu. This is for foreigners who are legally married to a Filipino citizen. Okay, it's like a permanent resident visa. I mean, you have an indefinite stay. You never have to leave the country, but you do have to report to the government from time to time. There's some fees associated with it. not so much, but a lot of the men over here who are married to Filipinos and Filipinos, they opt for that option, because it's a good one, And then they have what's called that special resident retirees visa. Now, it's 4 levels to that, and you can get help, if that's something you're interested in. But there's a deposit, there's an investment that's required there. But again, there's some benefits. Chief among them is indefinite stay in the Philippines. Multiple entry and exit privileges. Another good one that people, because I know a friend who has that. He says that you get a one-time exemption from the customs duties and fees and taxes when you import your household goods and personal goods from your home country, up to $7,000 US. Okay, and then you get full privileges from field health. See, the field health policy I got is like a skeleton policy, because I'm not a citizen, but it helps, but it's not the full policy that a Filipino citizen gets. Now, I can get a policy with my wife and my son if we were together, and I would have the same benefits, but by me just being an expat by myself, but it's better than nothing. And it's really, by me being 57, my private insurance is no good here. I don't have Medicare. I don't have, any government insurance like that. So that's it. But again, you don't lose your U.S. citizenship. You're not rescinding anything, okay? You're not becoming a Filipino citizen when you come over here as an expat. You have all your rights, protections, and privileges still in America, all right? Your Social Security check, your retirement benefits are still gonna go to your bank, okay? You just gotta find a way to remit them to you. Either transfer it from your bank account in America to your bank account here, or remitly, Western Union, Zoom, whatever way you decide to do. Also, I'm a tourist visa. You can opt for the tourist visa, up to 36 months without ever leaving Philippines. But you have to pay the fees associated with that as you extend your visa. You leave for 24 hours, you come back. 13A, if you're married to a Filipina, you can opt for that 13A visa. It's a permanent resident visa, indefinite stay, different reporting, different fees, or the special resident retirement visa. 4 different levels to that. There's some deposits and investment amounts required, depending on your age. Okay, it can vary. Look into that. But there's also a ballot buy-in visa. If you're married to a Filipina and you come to the Philippines together, okay, you're entitled to a 1-year visa. It's called a ballot buy-in visa. You don't pay any fees for 1 year. It's good for 1 year. You don't have to go to the immigration office or anything. I've did it several times. But when you come over here, make sure you bring your marriage license with you as proof, okay? And then they'll just stamp it right there as you coming through immigration. When you get off the plane and you're standing in line, you and your wife will go there together and they'll stamp it, okay? So thanks a lot for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. Your kindness, your generosity, your support on my channel is overwhelming. I can never pay you back. I just want to continue to do these vlogs if they're useful, if they're helpful. If you're in America, it's getting late. Before you let your head hit the pillow, please help somebody. If you're on one of those late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, you may work second shift, you're getting off from work, and you see somebody on the street, give them a couple of dollars, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, okay? Yeah, the stimulus was passed, but it's going to be weeks before we see that money. The vaccination is not going to bring things back to normal. Look, we need each other more than ever. Okay, if you're over here in the Philippines, it's about 7:30 in the morning. We have all the rest of the day to find somebody. I've told you over and over and over, the devastation's been wrought by the pandemic, by the lockdowns, businesses gone, people losing their jobs, babies literally starving over here. So it's very, very important that you find somebody to help. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time.